Greetings, it is I, Tantus Narayan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome! It is time for Gathering the Roll, the greatest news show that's supported by the Empire, with all your exciting and fantastic news from the worlds of Magic the Gathering, and role-playing games such as Dungeons & Dragons, Shadowrun, and Pathfinder. So today we have a lot more exciting stories. Primarily, most of them are going to be from the world of Magic. It's been ramping up for Kaladash's release, so a lot of interesting news stories has been coming from the world of Magic. But let's dive into Magic. Let's talk about the pre-release of Kaladesh. That's coming this weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can attend pre-release events for Kaladesh. There's going to be exciting special pre-release packs given out in the special Inventors box. It's going to, of course, include a randomized promo with the date on it. It will include 6 booster packs. It will also include a constructible Thopter, so you can have a little Thopter you can make yourself. And it will include, of course, a life counter. Go check out these events over the weekend. You can sign up for one, pay some money, get a pack, build a deck, play, and maybe you can win some more packs of Kaladesh. Sort of boost up what you're getting for this pre-release event. But moving on, there is some more information about Kaladesh to talk about. The set's been spoiled. Every card in the set has now been released online, so you can go and check it out and find out any of the cards that you want to know about, learn about them, see what's in the set. Get an idea of the story of the set from some of the flavor text. Also, all the tokens and emblems images have been released now, so we know all the tokens and emblems that are going to be available in this set. Now, you say, what about tokens and emblems? I'm not big on that, but I'm personally a collector of tokens and emblems. I love them a lot. I have a huge collection, so I'm excited for this. You should be too. Now, there does seem to be an unfortunate mishap to do with Kaladesh. A energy counter has not been released in the initial print of the set. Now, Wizards is promising that in future prints of the set, there will be energy counters included. But for now, you can download and print out this little thing here, which is their version of an energy counter you can have for when you're playing games with Kaladesh right now. Now, there's one more story revolving around Kaladesh. The Japanese printing of Kaladesh has got a new high-end, high-quality, 100% recycled paper that they're using to print their cards on, a new card stock. So this is actually the first Magic cards that will be printed that will be 100% recyclable. This is a new and exciting thing. It's adding a quality to the Japanese versions of cards that hasn't been printed before. It's making them a little more friendly towards tournaments. Before, Japanese cards would be, there was some flaws with them that might make them easier to tell apart than other ones that were printed in other countries such as our own. This is standardizing cards a little bit more, but also increasing the quality. Now, there is one more Magic related story, not related to Kaladesh. The last of the Magic World Cup qualifiers were actually held over the weekend. You can check online, I'll leave a link in the description below, for the entire list of winners of this. But effectively, we're now looking to who's going to represent what nation in the World Cup coming up in November. As I said, you can check that list and see who's representing your country when it comes to the World Cup. Now let's move on and let's talk about Dungeons & Dragons. The only release that's coming out this week is Monsters and Heroes of the Realm coloring book. Now this is a little interesting coloring book. You can of course give it to someone who's younger, might enjoy it, but also you might like it yourself. It has a collection of illustrations, of course black and white, of interesting ones from all the sources in Dungeons & Dragons, and a few that are unique to it. They're actually really well done illustrations. Sans the color. So go ahead and check it out if you're interested in it, or if you know someone younger who has an interest in Dungeons & Dragons you want to flare on a little bit more. Now there is one more announcement in the world of Dungeons & Dragons. They've released the September 2016 Rules Answers up online, so you can go check it out. You can see there's a whole list of questions pertaining to the rules that are up there that maybe you had for a question yourself that you want some kind of clarification. This entire list here will help give you some clarification. It also includes ways that if you want to actually submit a question or ask a question of important people in Wizards that might know the answer to it, you can there. But this is a list of very popular ones that maybe you need the answer to. Might help you out. In Pathfinder news, there's nothing majorly being released this week in the world of the actual book releases, but there is something interesting released. There is a digital version for phones and tablets of the Pathfinder card game. Now, the Pathfinder card game is an interesting one that takes the major adventure paths and builds them into card game form. They've released a few of them, including Skulls and Shackles, and Rise of the Runelords. This initial release here is based upon the Rise of Runelords expansion, and you can enjoy the card game version of Rise of the Runelords, enjoying the adventure from another standpoint. It's available and downloadable now. Now, in Vampire the Masquerade news, there is some information being released on the upcoming Vampire 20 Dark Ages Compendium. This is a release that's going to be coming up in the future that they're giving some basic information. It's going to be introducing locations set in the Dark Age versions of Vampire the Masquerade, where you now know some more information about these places. Various towns and settlements that you can have your vampires have their Dark Age adventures in. This is, of course, a very different take than the modern-day vampire, which is the one I've been discussing in my other videos, but the Dark Ages one is just as fun, and I would recommend checking it out. It'll tell you about what's coming up for it, give you some basic information about what they're working on to develop this interesting and new book. Now, there is no new news in the worlds of Shadowrun or in the worlds of Earth Dawn and Bessem, but if anything comes up, I'll be sure to let you know. So that's it for the news for this week. Important links related to any of this week's news stories will be in the description below. Remember to like, subscribe, and of course share this video. Get some more people to know what news is going on. And of course, if you have any questions or comments or anything you want to say related to any of these news stories, please just leave in the comments below and we can discuss them and talk about them. And until the next time, I bid you farewell.